I'll tell you one thing that
Hey, when my girls start to trip and hate before escape, I call Sirius XM 98. Yeah, Thursday, Foxxhole 7 to 9 to talk to ZoWilliams before I lose my mind. Yo, I need advice on my relationship, cause I'm about to start breaking. I can't take it no more. I got to holler at Zo, the relationship pro. Before we pack up and go, I got my foot out the door, and then for leaving. But first, let me holler at Zo, the voice of reason. I got one foot out the door, and then for leaving. But first, let me holler at Zo, the voice of reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, ZoMetheus Rising, the voice of reason, back in the building. Another Thursday, another hot topic. Foxxhole Radio, Sirius XM 98. You know what I do on this show, man. Go get to the phone lines, 855-369-9898. I got another heater, another great topic, a barn burner. Listen, man, this is a cold topic, and it was inspired by a record I heard recently. The Nas record, Daughters. Tonight's topic, the dynamics of the daddy-daughter relationship. A deeper investigation into the father's impact on their little girls. It's going to be crazy. Get to your phone lines right now, 855-369-9898. We're going to talk about the impact of fatherlessness. Does that mean the daughter becomes more promiscuous in light of his absence? I know some pretty promiscuous girls who had daddy there all along. Somebody talk to me about it, 855-369-9898. I'm just saying, what is a father's impact on his daughter? And we're going to talk about how a dad raises up a girl to be a strong, beautiful woman. How does he do it? We're going to talk about that importance, man. It's a very important relationship. You got to get to me right now, 855-369-9898. When I come back, you know what I'm going to do. Questions. I'm going to hit you with a gang of interesting, intriguing questions. You know how I do this. Go to my Facebook, go to my Twitter, at ZoWilliams. Follow me. If you got questions, tweet me. I will respond. I will read them out. Go to my Facebook, ZoWilliams on Facebook. Email me, zo@SiriusXM.com. You know how we do. We're about to take a quick break, and when I come back, the dynamics of the daddy-daughter relationship, a deeper investigation into the father's impact on their little girls. I'll be back in 2.2. Holla.
They drove fast. One day she's your little princess. Next day she's talking boy business. What is this?
Ladies and gentlemen, my goodness, Nas. This is why he's one of the greatest in the game. That's the new Nas record. It's called Daughters. Come on, man. How important is our relationship with our little girls? How do they go on and develop meaningful relationships without our influence? Sometimes daddies are so bad that maybe the influence is not needed. But in the void, where do the answers come from? 855-369-9898. You listen to the voice of reason, ZoMetheus Rising, Foxxhole Radio, Sirius XM 98. Tonight's topic, the dynamic of the daddy-daughter relationship, a deeper investigation into a father's impact on their little girls. Before I go to my phone lines, you know what I'm going to do. Questions, questions, questions. Let's get to it right now. You know I love questions, right? As a young lady, how did your father train you to deal with the potentiality of aggressive behavior from future boyfriends or husbands? What did he say to do to get him up off you? I have a 12-year-old daughter, and I know what my buttons are, and women push buttons better than any creature on planet Earth. They are perpetual button pushers, right? And on my way up here, listening to this DVD of this relationship guy who was actually on this show once before, he said that we reserve our worst behavior, right, for relationships. And a lot of times we act out towards each other, right? So again, I teach my 12-year-old. I was going to bring her, but she was like, nah, I'm babysitting. I'm making that paper. So I'm going to babysit, Dad. I'm not going to be able to star on your show, is what she said. So I was like, cool. Okay, go get your cheese, little mama. But I tell her all the time, she has this relationship with her brother where she's always slapping, punching, and kicking and pushing him. And I tell her, you can't do that. And she goes, why? That's my brother. I get to pull his hair. I get to mess with his stuff. I get to throw his cell phone on the ground. I say, listen, I don't want you to habituate yourself to behaving aggressively towards men, because not every man you come in contact with growing up is going to treat you the way your brother does. Your brother loves you. He's not going to smack you. But dudes have limits. How does a father set those limits in order to avoid future domestic violence issues? Because they've already done the research. Nobody's more violent than women in relationships. But the difference, it's called the Conflict Tactics Survey, the CTS. It's used by many clinicians and practitioners when dealing with domestic violence. And what they find is women instigate more physicality than men do. But the reason why it's a controversial study is because it doesn't account for the impact of that violence. So it could be something as simple as throwing a glass. If it doesn't hit him, that's still considered an act of violence. Okay? So now, they've already said women are better communicators, and they've already said that women inflict deeper verbal damage to men than men do to women. This is stuff that is researchable. So if that's the case, perpetual button pushers, 855-369-9898, call me right now if you feel it's imbalanced. I want to talk, right? This is what's happening in the dynamics of the relationship. So how does a father teaches his daughter? I tell my daughter, don't do it, because not every guy you deal with is going to respond to you the way your brother does. You know, you don't know how the guy was raised. You don't know what his family situation is like. How do you avoid that? Well, let's ask some more questions. Ladies, what were the most important lessons you learned from your father growing up? If dad was absent, what lessons did you get from that? 855-369-9898. I'm going to callers in a second. Before I do that, though, we're going to take a quick break. But before I do that, I want to ask another question. I got questions, right? What are your top 3 signs of an unhealthy father-daughter relationship? And you can call in and talk about that Nas record, too. Did he do the wrong thing by outing his daughter in a record? Somebody call me right now. I think he did the greatest father act of all time. 855-369-9898. I got to take a quick break. And when I come back, I'm going to be introducing guests. It's going to be crazy. I'll see you in a second. ZoWilliams, Voice of Reason, Foxxhole Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, ZoMetheus Rising, the Voice of Reason, is back in the building. If you're just tuning in, you could tell by the comedy and the music that we have a new format, and I love it. And it is accentuating our topic tonight, the dynamics of the daddy-daughter relationship, a deeper investigation into a father's impact on their little girls. Listen, call me right now, 855-369-9898. If you had to choose only one kind of currency to receive from your father, which would it be? Financial, emotional, mental, spiritual? If you can only choose one, which would it be? Dads, if your daughter wanted to date somebody that reminded you of yourself in your early days, would you let her? 855-369-9898. I've got to get my author on right now. Right now. World-renowned, internationally known, devoted wellness advocate with over 35 years of experience as a holistic health practitioner. So many women were hitting me up about this lady when I said she was coming on. Oh, my God, you having her on? Oh, geez. Yeah, it's the Voice of Reason. It's what we do. Colonic therapist. What? And fasting therapist, huh? If you don't know now, I'm going to tell you right now. She's the author of Sacred Woman. Right? She's cold, man. Queen Afua is in the building. If you want to talk to her, 855-369-9898. Queen Afua, welcome to the Voice of Reason. I'm so happy that you're on with me. You know, this has been a process and a journey. Talk to me about
Yes, I am equally happy to be here with you on this conversation. As I'm listening and tuning in to what is being said, I just started to channel and to write, and I'm constantly writing. So I'm going to share with you, if you don't mind, some thoughts that came to my mind on Daddy's Little Girl and why it has impacted me so deeply. Well, I was a daddy's little girl, and my father was in the house with both mother and father, nurtured, loved, educated by both parents, inspired, and all of that. But what happens, I started teaching Sacred Women. I've been teaching women for the last 30-some years on how to heal themselves and their relationships. And one of the things I would find so evident with the women is there were a lot of daddy's little girls, and they were 20 years old, 30 years old, hurt daddy's little girls, 40 years old, unresolved, never worked it out with their father, 40, 50, 60 years old, women in pain and suffering. Then in the inside of that, I looked at their relationships with their mates and their choices, and what they created was their fathers again. The fathers who might have been in the house, but really was absent, unavailable, not communicating, not talking, in his own world. Maybe he was in his own world because he was just trying to produce economics to take care of the family. But nevertheless, they felt as if they were abandoned and they didn't have that relationship. Or so many young women in their 20s and 30s, they're single-parent homes. Back in my mother's day, couples stayed together if they killed each other, didn't like each other. He was a Rolling Stone. They stayed together. So that was another impact of what happens to women who stayed in relationships that were abusive, verbally abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive, unavailable. All of that's coming from the seed that is planted in the child, literally from conception to what he felt about the mother in the loving act. Was it love or was it war? Was it sex or was it peace? What happened in the conception? And then that little girl is growing up with the tones of the mother carrying her, but the father's vibration of how the mother feels. If she loves her mate, husband, or if she's angry with him and she carries that anger in her womb, she is born. Did daddy go to the crib and pick the baby up, the little girl, and hold her and rock her? Or was he nervous about even touching her or even looking at her? Did he give her the love, the time, and energy? Because who she is formed from a little baby up until the time she's 7. She really has formed herself. And then everything keeps recycling itself. Was daddy there in that process? Was daddy with the mother? And then if the father and mother were not together, what words were said about the father? That was forming the little girl's opinion about men, about her father, whether it was true or not. These are some of the things.
Wow. So, Queen, let me ask this question to the callers, and let's bring in a caller so they could talk with us. Ladies, how many of you grew up with the father, your father, in the home, but felt as if you didn't? The unavailable father. It could be a man that says, you know what, like Queen just broke down. He could have been just devoted to trying to take care of you, pay the bills, but he wasn't available emotional. He wasn't emotionally. He wasn't available mentally. He was kind of withdrawn. He was just about paying the bills and making sure that you were okay. So having the father in the home but feeling as if he's not. The unavailable father, because that's a term out there. Let's bring in Marcella from Compton. Talk to me.
Kind of withdrawn.
Hi.
Hey, turn your radio down just in case, please. Hey.
Hi, Michelle.
Yes.
Hi. How are you guys?
Wonderful.
That's good. Well, honestly, I didn't really grow up with my father. He was a military man.
Hi, Michelle. And how did that impact your relationships?
Let's just say I was a black sheep of the family. I left when I was 21 years old, and I decided to be all on my own and do my own thing. You know, I mean, every now and then I would send home to my mom, you know, to take care of the kids, because there's 12 of us. There's 10 girls, 2 boys, and I'm the oldest girl, and I just got sick of it, you know, not having my father around.
Every now and then I would send home. Can your father be in your life now?
Now he is. Honestly, I'll say me and my father, we are really close, and I am glad that I'm so close to my father, because, you know what, I think without my father, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today. And I found my husband. I found my husband that's exactly like my father. He's military too.
Wow.
But
wow.
we have a newborn.
Queen, let me do this really quickly. Marcella, I really appreciate the call, but there's so many people on the line, and your story is compelling. We appreciate you reaching out to us. And you just dropped some science. Thank you for the call. We got to take in our next caller.
No problem.
Thank you. Maya, you're on the line. Let's speak on it.
Hi, how are you?
We're good,
Hi.
Maya.
Wonderful.
Okay, it's a pleasure speaking with both of you.
Thank you.
Really quickly, for me, my father was in my life, although him and my mother were not married, and he wasn't in the house. He was very active, and we also had a family component. So I had his brothers, my aunts and my uncles, my grandmother. So it was a sort of a situation where it took a village to raise a child, and that's what I had. So with that being said, did I go through issues like puberty and, trying to, discover the world? He instilled a lot in me. Faith played a horrendous part in our life. So that was another thing. And I was brought up in the 80s, and please, no one get offended. But, his thing with me was, you like it. So, he always told me, boys do this, boys do that. But he started very...
Oh, wow. You breaking up, Maya. We appreciate the call. You got to go. Let me do this really quickly. Queen.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question about your new book, Man Heal Thyself, and its impact on men becoming better fathers to their daughters, and where can people find it at?
Well, with Man Heal Thyself, first of all, we all can improve as parents. And since we're speaking of fathers, the book is Man Heal Thyself, Journey to Optimal Wellness. And I'm looking at these men as the common man, the negative alpha man, the broken man, and the angry old man. So I'm going to look at the negative alpha man, because there's also a positive alpha man. The positive alpha man is the one who takes care of the household, keeps, connected to his children, connected to his wife, helps the community. He's really working to keep the family healthy and whole. Then you have the negative alpha man, he's very strong, very dominating, my way or the highway. And so if a woman, a daughter is raised within that family construct, then what she's going to look for as she grows older is she's going to look for that same father. Even though it may start off as a lovely relationship, it then shows up. The negative alpha man becomes her husband. That's what I've discovered from looking at women, from how they were raised as their father. You can literally trace back like a map to who you're going to marry. And down to the angry old man. The angry old man is the man who comes home at night and he sits on his chair and turns on the TV and eats something and goes into a zombie state because he's not living out his purpose and his vision. So he's angry and he's upset. And the children stay pretty isolated from him. They have their own world. Your daughter has her own world. She's dating whoever she wants to date. And she's frustrated because she has a father who is grumpy, who is stressed out, who is not living out his passion, his dream. So she takes that on, and so she gets married, or she has relationships with other men who are not able to fulfill their purpose and their mission. So really, everything that a woman is, as she becomes a woman, is all that happened in her father in terms of relationships with men. And so one of the ways in which she can begin to heal herself, as I heard in the other caller, is to begin to search out the best in her father now that the father has matured. The same father who was in his 20s and 30s trying to find his way, he's a different man by the time he reaches his 40s and his 50s. So at that point, he's learned some lessons. He's ready to hug, to talk, and to overcome some stuff, which is help heal her heart.
So, Queen, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. We got to take another quick break. I want everybody to go to queenafua.com. Is that not the website?
Yes, Queen Afua.
Please go to
www.queenafua.com.
Exactly. Please get there. I want you guys to support her. I want you guys to represent her. She's going to be on with me for the duration. Now, we got to take a quick break. 855-369-9898 is the number to dial. When I come back, we're going to hit more questions, more callers, and more with Queen Afua. It's crazy. And my other special guest just walked in. It's about to be nuts. I'll be back at 2.2.
Money changes the people around you more than it changes you. I remember I called my father and said, Daddy, I got a TV show. That motherfucker quit his job that day. I heard him in the background. Well, that's it for me. Fuck y'all. Shit. It's the last time I'm sweeping this joint up. Fuck you. My son got a job. It wouldn't be so bad, but he wants the same shit I get. I get a new car. Hey, son, when I'm gonna get a new car? Motherfucker, when you learn how to tell some jokes. He called me last week, said, man, the doctor said my diabetes acting up. It's gonna be $100,000 to save my leg. And I'm like, Daddy, you done walked enough. Fuck that shit. You done had 2 legs for 70 years. Shit. You can hop them last 10 on one leg. You just selfish. That's your fucking problem. You are selfish. I mean, I want to get my daddy a new car, but the motherfucker almost 70 years old. I don't want to be one of them old-ass people run over 53 people in front of a fruit stand. Remember that old fucker ran all them people over and got out the car? What's wrong? Why is everyone laying down? Because you killed him, you old fucker. People don't want to offend old people. That's the deal. That's why they let them drive. And you know California has more drivers per capita than anywhere in the country. And that's because they're a big voting block and nobody wants to fuck up their vote. And I'm going to tell you something. I got a thing. I love old people, but at a certain age, your ass shouldn't be driving. That's all the fuck if your birthday got 19 anything in it, you should be taking a fucking nap. California different now anyway. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the fucking governor, eh? And that's fucked up for me because I didn't understand him when he was talking in his movies. Now, he passed a law. I don't even know what the fuck is going California. Where the fuck is California? I don't know where that is. Arnold from Different Strokes. Gary Coleman gonna run for fucking governor. How you gonna be governor? You ain't tall enough to ride nothing at Six Flags. You can't be governor if you got your whole picture on your driver's license. You ain't a governor. People got rid of Gray Davis because he was boring. His mama named him Gray. What the fuck you? How excited you gonna be when you the color of oatmeal? That's all.
Hello?
It's Chet Walker calling on behalf of District 7 State Welfare Children Division. Mm-hmm. Keep the kids over here at the house, right?
Right.
Right. Now, we've been getting some reports and everything from some of the people who've been coming there with the parents to get the kids, that you have been physically threatening the kids with objects.
With objects?
Yes, ma'am. With televisions, remote controls, whatever the hell you want to throw.
Remote control?
Whatever you want to whoop them with.
Please, I don't even go out like that.
Ma'am.
I'm a nonviolent person.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Now, again, my name's Chet Walker, just so we can get acquainted again.
Chuck Walker?
Chet Walker.
That don't even sound like a name.
Well, ma'am, now, Wanda don't sound like much of a name either. I've done nothing to insult your name.
In my house trying to insult me.
Ma'am, you just insulted my name.
My daddy. To the queen over here.
Look, now, damn it, my daddy named me Chet Walker Jr.
I don't give a freaking frack what your daddy called you.
You respect my daddy, Chet Walker Sr. He ain't done shit to you, lady.
Oh, and then you cursed me?
You just cursed me.
You said freaking fracking. I don't.
You know, man, you said freaking fracking. That's what you said.
Freaking fracking? Give me your name.
It's about the kids, Juan.
Chip Chuck. You better not call my freaking fracking house no more.
No, don't you call me Chip Chuck. My name. They say you've been hitting the kids with the knick-knack paddywhack. Now what? Now they say that you've been threatening the kids, and you call it.
Joe did tell you right about the knick-knack paddywhack, 'cause that's his name.
I'll come over there and put the knick-knack paddywhack on you myself, because what my.
You bring it on then. Come on with it. The door is wide open. Sure, you got the address. You got the freaking phone number.
What? No, man. I was actually gonna try and get directions over there too. I can find that.
Behind Hooters, and while you're out here, stop by there and get you a couple of cocktails, 'cause I sure been and had me a few by the time you get your. I just left the doctor's office, and you done got on my freaking nerves.
You go to Walgreens, get that crazy people medicine. You need
your
something.
mammy, do she go?
You sound like there's something that
your mammy go get some?
Now, sweetheart, when I come over there and put my foot in your ass.
Bring it on, baby.
When I come over there and put it all up in there.
A whole lot of food, baby. Okay, I'm going to be sitting on the porch.
Baby, I'm riding spinners. Look for me. What color house is it?
You know what it is.
What color house? I know it's going to be.
You know the darn house.
Now, what exactly is the knick-knack paddywhack that you use?
Freaking Nick, bring your ass over here and I'll show you what it is.
Oh, I'll give you a knick-knack paddywhack. I'm finna go.
Call my 7 brothers so you can bring your mom on up in here.
I'll whoop them, baby.
I'm calling the freaking police on you.
Wait there. Don't call the police on me,
baby. Yes, I am too, Chip.
Tattletale.
This number, Trace.
Tattletale booty smell, baby. Your booty smells.
Your ass smell. I know you couldn't be no man with your punk ass calling me.
I'm 100% man, baby.
No, you ain't.
I got my wife.
Would be calling a woman.
No, man. I'm gonna get my wife Emma Jane to whoop you. I ain't gonna need.
Bring her ass on. Bring your whole fucking family. Bring them on.
My wife Emma Jane don't play it, baby. She will drop you one blow. Stop up. One blow, baby. Stop up. Out cold. Me and the whole family's gonna pull up at your crib in a couple of seconds.
I just left the fucking doctor. And y'all ain't got my pressure up.
Ladies and gentlemen, ZoMetheus Rising back in the building. The dynamics of the daddy-daughter relationship is what we're talking about, a deeper investigation into a father's impact on little girls. And this is a tough show, man, and we've got some great guests right now, I have to introduce who's been online with me all day long from QueenAfua.com. Legendary author. I mean, this woman comes highly, highly, highly recommended. It's Queen Afua. She's on with us right now. Hello, Queen. How are you?
I am all the way live. Listening to this
best-selling, internationally renowned author, Queen Afua. Please get to her website. I want you guys to support her. Believe me, I want you to support her because she has a lot of things that can help us make our relationships better. Along with her, just walked in the building, ready to cut up, none other than Foxxhole's own,
hilarious,
my friend, the one who is ready and down to argue with me at a moment's notice, Louis Dix, fellow father.
Hey, so first of all, hello, Queen. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, thank you. How you doing?
I'm well. It's a pleasure.
Good.
Wow.
Thanks.
So, Louis, we're here. We're talking about what's happening. Queen Afua is with us. We got callers on the line right now. My thing is, how often, because I like to break things down into currencies. I think money is a kind of currency, of course. Everybody wants money. And I think a lot of times mothers put more emphasis on money than the other kind of currency. What if the dad has a tremendous spiritual IQ, a tremendous storehouse of emotional currency, and he feeds that to the children in the development of their psyche, but he's waning a little bit on the fiduciary responses? Do you cut him off? Talk to me.
Well, first thing, I've been a father of a daughter for 206 months. So
here we go.
She's 18 years old last week, April 24th.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting thing is, I think it starts with being a father and a good father, or just an aware father, is being there from the beginning. That's the important thing. Because if you're there from the beginning, then you get to fill up that coffer with thoughts and money and ideas and empathy and sternness. So you get a whole picture of your daughter. And then you're able to understand her more.
Right.
And sometimes you have to be stern sometimes because you know her. I mean, if you can't say to a kid, look, I know you from time you were born. And that's the most important thing of fathering. If you just get into a kid's life, and there's a lot of things you just don't know about. And they'll tell you that. They're saving that for trump cards. You don't know me like that.
Wow.
And my thing as a parent was to eliminate that. I'm gonna be there for you for 18 years. Paying attention, because I'm going to eliminate. But you don't know me. But you never did this. You never did that.
Right.
You never. No, I'm not going to. You're not going to use that against me.
Right.
So I think it's important that you can be deficient in some areas, but the one thing you have to do with girls is you have to have empathy and you have to listen. Even when because like I tell my daughter now, I'm learning to teach you tenderly now. Now that you're 18, because you have comebacks. Where before it was you jumping up my arms.
Right.
And me telling you go put some shorts on.
Right.
So now you have a sachet about you. You might have because I was there when you first became a woman.
Wow.
See, so when your period first came, your mom and I were right there.
Right.
And then we took you to dinner and we explained the kit.
The period dinner. I've done that.
So now you can't.
Yes.
When I talk to you about a young man, you can't call me out.
You can't say you weren't there.
Yeah, because even if you try to go there, I'll go there.
So let me do this, Louis. Really quickly, I have a quick story. My daughter was supposed to be here to be on this show today.
Yeah, the star who said she couldn't star on your show.
She said she couldn't star, right? She was busy, right?
Which shows you how much love she has.
But what's so amazing about her, and Queen, I'm going to get your answer to this too. What's so amazing about her is this. She came and got me before I left for the show. I was actually in the car. And she was like, Dad, come here. I need you. I need you. The little kid that she's babysitting, he's 6. She said, I need you to talk to him. He's acting inappropriately. He's saying bad stuff. I said, what did he say? He was saying, you've got boobies. You've got boobies. And that's inappropriate. Could you handle that? And I just felt like, I'm Dad.
Wow.
I'm
That's
Dad.
So you're at the point now where she has her, what we called.
Right. So you know what I did? This is what I did. I go in the house. He ran. He's upstairs. The door is locked where he's at. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here and wait on him.
Of course.
So I'm sitting and I'm waiting. And then he comes down, but he won't come all the way down the steps.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it. I said, listen, if she tells me you say something like that again, I know your pops wouldn't allow you to do that to your sister or anybody else. Yeah. So if she tells me you said something like that again, I'm going to blaze you.
Yeah.
I'm going to blaze you with my belt. And he was like, I'm sorry. I won't say anything like that. And Prima, my daughter, is sitting there like, yeah.
My grandfather.
I got my daddy on your ass.
Let me I just want to tell you one quick thing. My grandfather told me about the development thing. He gave us a phrase to use, a little league chest protector.
Oh.
That's what we call
a
her.
little league chest protector.
That is what we call her bra.
So Queen, talk to me about this particular dynamic we're going through.
Well, that's a lot of young girls. If they don't get that protection in the home and be confident that the father's going to be there to protect her, she'll grow up as a teenager and she'll start looking for a thug. She'll look for somebody in the street to give her this artificial protection, and now she's addicted to him because she didn't get it growing up from birth on up. So she doesn't go to the father that would be there to protect her. She goes outside of the household, and that's when it's dangerous. So for her to be able to come to you at that time and get that protection, that has actually built up a greater bond and relationship. So as she goes out in the world, she'll always say, Daddy, what about this one? And she'll bring him home, and she won't try to sneak around, and you're going to have an honest relationship. Wonderful.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
Wow. This is great stuff. Let's get a couple of callers in here while we can. Mello from Las Vegas, you've been on for 40 minutes, man. I appreciate you hanging on. Thanks for participating.
Yeah, Zo, how you doing?
I'm good, brother. What's happening?
Oh, man. The greatest gift, God's greatest gift to a man is a son. Too bad I got 2 daughters,
You didn't say that.
Wow. He didn't just say that.
Yeah, he said it in a minute.
Get him, Queen. Queen Afua, please.
Said it in a minute.
No, I love my daughters, man, but a daughter does something to you, man. It opens up your heart. It softens you up a little bit. You talk different to them.
He stretches you.
Yeah.
She makes you
she cracks the shell that's around your heart.
Wow. She definitely has that power.
Can't hide with the daughters.
No.
But let me tell you this, though. The father is going to be the first man she falls in love with.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And the first one she fall out of love with. Hey,
I gotta move on, brother. I appreciate you hanging on. Thanks, Mello. Naomi, you're from Houston. I need to know what's cracking in H-Town on this topic.
Hi, how are you guys? Thanks for taking my call.
We're good. Talk to us.
You were talking about the currency. I'd much rather prefer having the emotional support. My father was a good man, worked a lot. I barely knew him. And, he was there, again, financially. I miss that. I miss emotional support, poor, low self-esteem. And I still looking for that dad, and had bad relationships, married the same type of person, good man, but not that emotional support where that man has your back. Wow. So what can a person who's almost 60, what can she eventually do to find that support?
Well, can you double back to your father? And because, it's a circle. Sometimes we fall short. Maybe he needs to learn how to love, and it's through you. You can take the first courageous step and start to talk to him, share him.
He's deceased now.
He's deceased now?
He's gone, yeah. He's gone.
So
you know what? You can write a
now.
love letter to your father in spirit, and it will open up your heart. Because your father communicates with you to this day in the spirit. Then we do our prayers. You keep that connection, and he'll respond back to you. So it's your forgiveness, because what happens, you don't forgive, and you don't begin to pour that love back to him and thank him for your life. And say, thank you for who I look in the mirror and see your beauty right now. That's your father looking back at you. And in that type of walk, your gratitude begins to build, and you start to see some of the gifts that you have is because of your father. Some of your talents, your intelligence, your creativity. It may be your father just moving right through you right now. So say, thank you, Daddy, for everything that you gave me, and all the things you couldn't give me. Maybe I will do better in this generation, and you give it to yours.
Wow, that's a great answer, and that's a great perspective. Hopefully.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling, Naomi. Wow, we appreciate that powerful movement. That's why you on, Queen.
Thank you.
Please continue to touch people. That's what we want. 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. You're listening to Zomethi is Rising. The dynamics of the daddy-daughter relationship, a deeper investigation into the father's impact on their little girls, man. Hey, are women's promiscuity levels always linked to / determined by the impact or lack thereof of a prominent father figure early in their lives? Somebody call me right now and answer that question for me. We've got a caller right now. We're going to go to really quickly. Tina from Los Angeles, you're in the building. It's your time to chime. Keep it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we
loud
can
and clear.
Hi, how's it going?
We're good.
I was going to say that I didn't have my father in my life, and I have many siblings that I met through my father, and my siblings told me that I was better off without him.
Wow.
And our relationship has actually grown because we all have an understanding and a tolerance level for my father, which isn't the greatest. He wasn't the greatest father or the greatest man, but the things that I have learned are things that I shouldn't do. And one of the main things he told me was, well, you don't have to take all the bad stuff. I also graduated. I also own property. I mean, you can take some of the good stuff, too. So I really believe that, the life lessons you have become a choice. If you see all the negatives, you're going to see all the negatives.
Wow. Okay, Tina, looks like you're breaking up. Sorry about that. We got to move. Louis Dix?
Yeah, I think it's important that you have a fact finding with your father if you're looking for certain things that he stands for, because you have to take in consideration what he went through, and if him and your mother sat down before you were born, and he told her his philosophy, he said, because that's what I did, what kind of father I want to be, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to, and then the woman in turn tells you what she's going to do, and then you compromise, but you still take the best from your parents, because that's what we did. And then tried to implement what we felt was right. Like no rap music. They're going to listen to Disney music and they can hear all that. My daughter would never sit in anyone's lap, and people call me rude. And I'm like, no, because she shouldn't think it's okay to jump in any man's lap.
And it's not cool.
And I had to be the bad guy.
Boundaries.
Yeah, I'm walking around the house and like, why can't your daughter? Oh, come on, man. Hey, man, listen, you know what? I'm not going to argue with you. You're welcome in our home. But she doesn't jump in anybody's lap.
Okay, hey, we got to roll to another break real quick, but this is a real conversation with real information, and is that the prominent thing that dads are supposed to do? Create boundaries for daughters? How they interact and deal with men? Somebody call me right now at 855-369-9898. We're coming back after this break. It's going to be crazy. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, Zomethi is Rising, back in the building. Tonight's topic, the dynamics of the daddy-daughter relationship, a deeper investigation into a father's impact on their little girl's life. And it's a cold, cold, cold topic. What about those women out there who actively keep dads away? And how does that affect the daughter's development? Just like Queen was saying earlier, always talking down and negative. My ex-girlfriend's dad is a second-class citizen in his relationship with his daughter. Because what mama say go, even if what mama say is wrong. 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. Is poor parenting a great guide for children to learn what not to do? Or is it simply casting a die for the passage of generational curses? 855-369-9898. Back in the building. The dynamics of the daddy-daughter relationship with my great internationally renowned guest, QueenAfua.com. She's on with us right now. She's the author of a brand new book, Man, Heal Thyself, A Journey to Optimum Wellness by Queen Afua. Welcome back. We also have Louis Dix in the building. Ladies.
Author of Heal Thyself Through Pork. Just kidding. I'm just joking.
And he's a comedian, ladies and gentlemen. He hasn't been at work in a long time.
Oh, hilarious.
But he's working it out right here with us right now. So we love him. We love him. When looking for a man, ladies, do you seek out the type of man your father was? Somebody talk to me, unconsciously or consciously, 855-369-9898. And joining us in the conversation is a good friend of mine, psychic healer. I've been on some psychic stuff.
Are you serious?
He's a healer, yeah.
He's a psychic.
Yeah.
Well, why do you introduce
He's not Ronnie Cycli, but he's a psychic healer, holistic healer, experienced psychic, communicator to departed loved ones, and certified hypnotherapist, certified Kundalini instructor. Mr. John Price is in the building with us as well. Welcome, John.
What's up, John?
Thank you. Queen.
Yes.
I mean, is this show crazy or what?
Yes, we're coming out the woodworks on this topic. I love it.
Hey, that's what we got to do. What I need to know.
Yes.
What I need to know is, it seems to me that being a father is like a sacred fraternal order.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tell me what that means with regards to, because from what I understand, when you're in a sacred order, there are sacred secrets that are connected to wisdom that men use to build themselves to become the greatest person they can be. How can men transfer that information to their daughters so that their daughters become the greatest women that they can be, so that they can now participate in the greatest relationships of their lives? How can men do that?
Well, I would say your daughter is yourself. Even before you have a daughter, prepare yourself to have the daughter. Because everything that you are and everything that you're not and everything that you're hoping to be is going to show up in your daughter through you. She is a continuation of who you are. So a wounded, hurt man creates a wounded, hurt daughter. Wow. The angry black woman syndrome, the angry European woman, the angry woman is created from the father who was not there mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So as he becomes there for himself and becomes a balanced, healthy, vibrant man, that's his job, that's his work, because that's the root of the daughter, then he will automatically come into a state of growing a loving daughter. He will be attentive to her needs. He will be in tune to her needs. He'll be able to communicate in a healthy way. He will be in harmony with the mother, whether they're in the same house or they're not. So from his elevation, that is the level of daughter he's going to have.
So, Lewis, speak to that.
Yeah, and it's important that with that, it's certain passions. She mentioned some passions that, are somewhat negative, and then she mentioned positive. There's also dads who are really intense as far as sports. And then you have to pull back and realize, how intense can I be with my daughter? Because there are daughters since Title IX, girls are being treated just like boys in sports. You have to demand the same work ethic. But there's a certain way you talk to girls. You don't yell at girls because that's a different. So as a dad, you might have to read more books.
Wow.
You definitely have to read and educate yourself because you might have been raised in a different era where it's like she said, like Queen said, my way or the highway.
Right.
But you can't do that. And you might have a daughter where you can do that.
Right.
But you have to be sensitive and listen enough to know when to use it.
Wow.
Because they're so sensitive.
And I have a quick story, too. When my daughter was 3, she was at a little kindergarten kind of place. And the teacher called her mother. Because one day they were doing I guess it was reading some books and some religious stuff came up. And my daughter at 3 was like, no, you guys are all wrong. My dad says that God isn't a person. God is everywhere. And it can't just be in one person. It's in every. And the teacher was so amazed. She was like, the little girl's dad is all over her. The spirit of her father is all over her. And she had us captivated. She was holding church. We were about to pass the plate because she was speaking Dad's doctrine.
Oh yeah, it's going to be at one point. There's going to be a checkbox for us. At different places, it's going to say, "Well, Dad, present check." Yes.
Yes. So John Prince.
Yes.
Speak to us.
John Prince. Yes, I was thinking about just being your parents being like a god to you. That's your first person that you would view as God. And when those parents disappoint you in some ways that shows you a disconnection perhaps with God when you do not when there's a disruption in the relationship where there's like your heart is broken and you come back to a point where you feel that how do I get that connection back, right? And what the Queen was talking about, I thought that was on point in some respects. However, sometimes you don't have that connection where the person is departed or what have you, and you have to fill that hole, and it's up to you to come back full circle and connect back with God in a sense.
Wow, that's great stuff. Let's go to our callers real quick. Kioshia from El Paso, Texas. Talk to me about the chili down there. No, talk to me about tonight's topic. Let's go.
Hi, how y'all doing?
Fine.
But, I never really grew up with my father. He was incarcerated all my life. He's currently still incarcerated. I'm 24. harbor, like, some type of resentment towards him. But he's still alive, and from my mother dying and everything like that, I have a sense to come to him and talk to him about everything that happened, but I haven't brought myself to actually do it yet.
Have you ever written him?
So, I think I learned from the majority, like both of my parents really, I learned to be a better person because they kind of motivated me to, like, look at life differently. And everybody
listen
can't
to this.
do that.
So listen to this. This is what I want to do for you, Kioshia. I want Queen Afua to speak some spiritual life into your situation right now. Queen, can you talk to her specific circumstance?
As you were speaking, I was thinking about one of my students, and her father's also incarcerated. And because the mother doesn't curse the father, she doesn't put the father down, the daughter has a more positive feeling about her father. And so she reaches out for her father. So I'm saying to you, wherever all our fathers are in their own trauma and drama, have mercy, have love, have care. Because I don't know if you have children, but you want to.
No,
you have children, but you will one day, possibly, or nieces and nephews. And so you can change the tide of the family. The family could be going in one way, in a lot of pain and suffering, but now it's up to you. You're the one on this call tonight. You're the one who carries this information. Through you will now transform your father. You will encourage him. You'll give him some knowledge. You'll read some books to him. You'll write letters to him. You can actually grow your father. We don't have to be trapped in our DNA of what our parents didn't do, our fathers didn't give us. You can be the one to be the giver, and you can actually open him up and heal him. It's your time to help your father heal him, and he'll give it right back to you. Just watch.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thanks, Kioshia. Kioshia. Let me say this. We got to take a run real quick, but I really appreciate you calling. And Louis Dix wants to make sure that you write your father.
Oh, no, I was asking if she did. Has she written him?
Have you written your father? No. Well, she's gone. Okay. I'm sorry, but you need to write him. So. You need to write him. Hey, I appreciate everybody right now. Hold on. We got to take another quick break. 855-369-9898. Keep the callers coming through. This is a great topic. The dynamics of the daddy-daughter relationship, a deeper investigation into it. We'll be right back. I'll talk to you in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, ZoWilliams Rising, the voice of reason, back in the building. Sirius XM 98. 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. Come on now. You know what it is. Do you seek out relationships with men that mirror your relationship with your father? Do you experience unresolved issues with your father via your intimate relationships? Huh? My ex-girlfriend's dad loved me. He was a cold dude. I mean, he is a cold dude. You know, he's the type of dude that'll talk crap to boyfriends, but he never talked crap to me. He always respected me. Always had respect for me. Never came sideways. Always nice to me. And I would ask my ex-girl, why is that? She said, because he respects you as a man. You know? You ain't never asked him for nothing. You ain't asked to move in. You know? You ain't asked nothing, and you seem to treat me well or whatever, and he cool with you. He never came sideways. Always had a joke for me. Always, hey man, how you doing? What's cracking? And I miss him more than her. 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. Hey, is it different with same-sex parents? Lewis asked. Somebody's got to play the daddy role.
Wow. I'm just wondering what Queen thinks.
Wow. Queen Afua is
here.
in the building. QueenAfua.com, www.queenafua.com. I'm telling you right now, I urge you, go support this woman. She is a dynamic force in the holistic field of detoxification and purifying the body through the right things to eat, drink, and think. She got 5 books out, and the newest one is Man, Heal Thyself. That's the only way we're going to be able to teach these young girls how to be queens and goddesses moving forward. 855-369-9898. How to patch up your broken father-daughter relationship. Some quick tips for you right now. Don't give up on her. How about that? Never give up on her.
No.
Right? Don't be afraid to show her that you care. How about that?
And definitely at the right time when you shouldn't. When she thinks you're going to be mad at her.
Right. And here's a big one. Communicate.
Oh.
And people don't understand. Vulnerability is connected to communication. If you're not vulnerable, you're not really communicating. You're right? Yeah.
That's I guess why it's hard to talk to a rock.
Yeah, exactly, Louis. Thank you for the depth. Thank you for the depth.
Right? He's only hard because he's hurting.
Exactly. Right? If the cut exactly.
But he's shutting his daughter out and all his other relationships that could be healthy and could grow him.
Exactly.
You know, and it's important. It's so important for this conversation to happen because I see the casualties. I see the casualties of the women. Women are unhappy in their relationships. They're in hit-and-run lovers. They have relationships or bit bam, thank you, ma'am. And is it sex or is it love? They're confused. And all of this.
Let me do this. Let me do this, Queen. Let me do this because you're going somewhere that I think we need to go right now. Let's talk about female ego and how it disrupts the movement of quality relationships. A woman thinks it's supposed to happen on her time most of the time. She thinks she can dictate how it happens, and just because she doesn't feel good about a situation, she thinks the situation isn't good for her. Go deeper.
If she doesn't feel good, well, women, we are the communicators in terms of we express ourselves, we tell what it is, how it is, what it is, and what we don't know, we call up our girlfriends. What we don't know, we have a posse that we come together and we work it out and we talk it out, even if it's broke down information, toxic information, and we come heavy hitting. By the time you get to the door, you know how you can tell a man comes home, she's talking on the phone, all of a sudden everything is silent and she hangs up the phone. That conversation was about him. So she is prepared to go in on her husband, her mate. And so what we have to do as women, really, it's all, for me, men and women, fathers, daughters, mothers, we have to detox. We're toxic.
Wait a minute. Let me go deeper here. Are you saying, Queen, that women in general have a toxic library of friends that they refer to, and this toxic information is being swirled around and they conspire to go against the dude?
Only when she's not well. That's connected to checkup. She has to check us that she probably has fibroid tumors. She has headaches. She's depressed. She's experienced some obesity. So as a result, what she feels inside of her is expressed in her relationships. That she's displeased because it's really coming from within. And the same for a man. So as she starts to get rid of that sickness in her thoughts, in her words, in her actions, in her deeds, clean up, detox, then her whole conversation switch. Other than that, you're going to get the woman on her lowest frequency, and you might as well just run for the hills because she's going to get you. She's going to win. And I know she's going to win
because women are powerful. Women are very powerful. Don't get on the bad side of them. Let me go to some callers real quick right now. We've got John from Florida. Talk to the crew that's here. Louis Dix, QueenAfua.com, and, of course, my good friend, John Price.
The Death Talker.
He is here with us right now. Let's go.
Hello?
John. Hey, John. Talk to me, man.
Hey, I was talking about the topic about the father and the daughter.
Yeah.
Well, my girl cousin, she has a baby from her father. And it's kind of crazy because I was sitting here telling my other cousin how it was fresh out of Altamont. And that's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yes, you heard it.
Did I hear that right?
Heard it right.
Yeah.
John, tell me the story again, damn it. Come on
that
now.
was
Tell me
shocking.
the story again, because we're blown away right now. Tell us the story one more time. 30 seconds or less.
My girl cousin, she has a baby from her father.
Okay, there it is.
Wow.
Okay, wait. I just saw an episode of that on Law and Order.
You just getting that?
Color Purple.
Because now we getting hit upside the head with some real deep betrayal and destructive father-daughter relationships. John, go deeper into your story.
And also the father is married to her mother.
Oh, my.
Wait, is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still here.
Okay,
yeah,
so
he's still alive. I think he frequently messes with her. I'm not sure, but I know that's some crazy stuff.
What did the men around that family do?
Everybody, we just look at them differently. Like, we disapprove them from the family and everything. But I also have my cousin here. He could tell you more.
Like, he would have been escorted.
It's something that he's still alive in the family. That's amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
That's amazing.
John, thank you for the call. John from Florida, appreciate it, man. We have to move on. Wow.
That's not as strange as it sounds, because I didn't want to go there. But
it's hurtful. It's not necessarily strange. It's hurtful to hear that, but go into it, Queen.
It's something. It's terrific. But what's going on is we're having sick families, and we got to detox our families. That's how come our daughters are not getting the daddy little girl experience, which is a rich experience. And all of the men here, all of you are good fathers. And so that's not always the case. And so what I hear a lot of, and I can be in a room of 40 women, and I'll ask the question, and about 30% experience incest from fathers and uncles. A problem. That's a sickness.
Wow.
And I connected, part of it's connected to the Willie Lynch, the 8 generations of incest. So we've got a lot of healing to do. To raise healthy daughters, we have a lot of family healing to do.
Right. And a lot of people, like you told me in our private consultation, I don't want to put my own business out there, but like you said, a lot of times because this has happened, it molds the perspective of the woman. So now every man is bad because dad set the bad example.
That's the tone.
And then it becomes a generational curse. So like you said in your Sacred Woman book about how women being bitches and perpetually angry and mad is like being possessed by the bitch demon. And now they start teaching bitchology to the daughters, and it becomes a generational curse. Go deeper, please.
Yeah, you can tell it in the kitchen. It's in the kitchen. The women, the auntie, the mother, the grandmother sit down. And
the auntie, God, I know a bitch auntie.
A whole dialogue can come out of that conversation.
Could I interject here for a moment?
Madness.
Okay, John Price, our resident.
I was just wanting to say, basically, like when that happens, when you're talking about a woman in that position, she's powerless. So even if she's being bitchy or what have you, you have to like kind of connect with her power because obviously she doesn't think she has any. I mean, especially if her father is screwing her.
Absolutely. And like Queen is alluding to, she's talking about healing generational curses, and the only way to do that is to confront that which you've created a coping mechanism for.
Well, you have to confront your shame. Obviously, it's shameful. And it's not your fault, but basically you're going to think it is. So.
Louis Dick, speak.
But the kitchen talk is interesting because at times when men get together and we have those conversations, we will, a lot of men I'm around, check each other. We'll say, hey,
real men.
Yeah, real men.
Real
check
men
each other. You're like, yo, man, you treat your woman that way? You told that to your daughter?
You don't get to be here.
Yeah, man, you can't be in our group if you act like that. But and it's so important that we get back. Because I wanted to ask Queen about these young girls who are 21 with these 50-year-old men and that dynamic that I feel it's so embarrassing.
Why are you throwing me on the bus?
Well, you're not 50. I'm talking about.
I'm not 50, but damn.
But you know what I'm talking about, Queen. It's just so.
Well, absolutely. And you could just see it's clear as day. What's happening? She never had her father. Like you talked about your daughter just now, our little star. That kind of love she was lacking as a little girl. So she's actually still 3 years old. That 21-year-old woman never grew up. She was cut at the knees, cut at the womb of her growth. So 21, she's still 8 years old. She's still 5 years old, looking for daddy's love and affection in all the wrong ways.
Wow.
So what do we do? One of the things we can do in our community is fathers, uncles, brothers, good friends, good men in our community, stand up and go help a little girl, support a little girl in her growth. Matter of fact, help a grown woman who needs advice without getting sexual with her. Talk with her. Guide her. If you have the wisdom and the intelligence, you help her to have that experience of her father in her life. Sometimes we got to step in for each other. And you don't always have that healthy father. You don't always have that healthy grandfather. But we do have that as extended people. We can support each other and growing healthy women no matter what the age is, because there's a lot of elder women who are still crying and they're obese. Obesity comes from a broken heart, a broken spirit, not getting what you need in your youth. So you just start to use food as your lover, your companion, your communicator, your support system, and it's not even healthy food. It's toxic. And so you're building a toxic relationship, trying to work out daddy even through the food that you're eating. And so that older man, that's all that's connected to that madness.
Wow, this is awesome. Listen, we got to take a quick break. No. I got to go to a caller really quickly. Mike from Chicago. Keep it short, brother, because I want to get you in, but we can't do a filibuster. Talk to me.
Okay. Real quick. I've got 3 daughters and a son. The one daughter I have a problem with is the one with my ex. Very bad relationship. Anyway, now I'm trying to figure out how to bring her back. I have a very good relationship with my daughters I live with my wife. So I'm doing everything is great. It's just with the first daughter from the previous wife that I'm having this challenge with. Well, the challenge is also all from the mother, which we have a very, very rocky relationship. So that's not painting the best picture for me, and that's been the challenge ever since. So we've had just a very strenuous relationship.
Wow. Thanks for the call, Mike. Queen Afua, Louis Dix, John Price. Let's deal with it.
Well, what's happening is if we all can reflect on where we were in our thoughts, in our attitudes, in our life at the time of relationship or the time of conception, and who and what we are at that time is who and what we conceive. So the separation of the door, you've grown since then. And that's why the other relationship, the other daughters are in harmony with you and you with them. You have developed, you grew, you learned some things, you let go of some habits, you took on some better habits. But that first child, that was your early child, that was your early you before you grew to this better, greater man. So that means you're going to have more patience for this first child than the other, because that pain in that little girl or that woman at this point, that's just yourself. It's in her DNA. So your compassion, your love, your talking, your sending her gifts or prayers or words of encouragement, it's going to have to be more consistent. And the mother, the woman that you chose back then, that's an extension of yourself as well. So she's going to have to be encouraged by you because she's walking around angry, giving it to the daughter, and they're going to both together going to give it to you. So if you don't go above and beyond to help them overcome through your higher levels of treatment, then they're going to stay in that cesspool. So their connection to their growth can come through you. You have the power to help and to transform and change that condition. I affirm that.
Wow. Hey, let's do this. We got to take a quick break. This is crazy right now, the Foxxhole Radio Sirius XM 98. You know how I like to do it. I like to hit you upside the dome piece with heavy, heavy topics. The dynamics of the daddy-daughter relationship is where we are right now. 855-369-9898. Callers, when I come back, I'm coming to you, Louis Dix, John Price.
Yeah, I got to check that, brother.
And, of course, the mighty, the powerful Queen Afua.com. We'll be back shortly. Peace. That's a great record. Me as a daddy, I guess that's why she never met the kids. Wow. 855-369-9898. Maybe the universe was protecting them from her.
From who?
From my ex-girl. She never met the kids.
Oh, well, yeah, that's sometimes the spirit to take care of that. You know,
I don't know. 855-369-9898. You're listening to the Foxhole. ZoMethi is rising on the phone with Queen Afua, author of Man, Heal Thyself. Great, great work. We're here also with psychic John Price. And, of course, legendary comedian, hottest comedian in the 80s.
No, 90s. Late 90s.
Late 80s, early 90s.
And then I became a parent. And I was the hottest parent in the 90s.
Louis Dix, who has a point to make in response to the last point Queen Afua made. And then we'll get to the callers because the phone lines are jam-packed right now. 855-369-9898. If you're just tuning in, the dynamics of the daddy-daughter relationship. A deeper look into Papa San's, Kuma-san, as I once heard it, his effect on the daughter. Talk to me, Louis.
It was like she was saying, Queen was saying that about the man had become better, and my point was that we as men have to think that before we move on to that next marriage. Mm-hmm. Because when you do move on, and first you start that one family, and I know divorce happens and everything, and then the daughter looks like you're moving on. You start a new family, and she has a right to say what happened to me. And she's going to be confused. So you can't demand her to act a certain way. And sometimes we do that. A good example was Will Smith, how he did it. A lot of times, statistically, it doesn't work. But what he was able to do, because
he's filthy rich.
Right, he was able to do it, but he included her. Now, I know that guy said his wife was a knucklehead, but he included that first wife with every family trip. and it was a true blended family. But you have to do that emotionally.
But he could afford that, though.
Right, but I'm saying even if you can't, you have
to just keep.
But you have to keep that in mind too. That's something that you're going to have to address when you begin a new family.
So maybe the trip is we're all going to Chuck E. Cheese. Come on.
Yes, you have to, and you have to be overbearing in that to let her know you're important. You have to have special days with her. More than your family. You have to take her out, say, this is our day, have a consistent dinner once a week with her.
Right,
because that's when you can eliminate, but you were never there.
Right. What kind of mark did your father leave on you, ladies? Was it positive or negative? Please call me right now, 855-369-9898. Please, please, please reach out. I'll say it again. What kind of mark did your father leave on you? Because regardless of what kind it was, positive or negative, it was definitely indelible.
Yeah, mine was extension cord. My dad left on me.
Extension, exactly. I met your dad before, too.
We got whippings. Think of what the boys got left by their dad.
Exactly, man. This is a cold situation. Sonia, New Jersey. You're on the Voice of Reason. Talk to us right now.
Hi. I've been waiting for you guys all day on the East Coast over here. I just need to make a comment. I've never had a relationship with my father. I remember when I was younger going over to his house and feeling like an outsider. Although I tried to, forge a relationship with him throughout my late teens through my early 30s, it never came together. I decided on my 38th birthday to reach out to him and pass the weight, so to speak, because it was too heavy for me to carry around. And he denied everything. Like, he insisted that he treated me just like his other children. So what do you do with that? What do you do with a person that's in denial, that doesn't see his behavior?
I really don't think you could do anything.
No.
I think that's his journey, his lesson, and a lot of times life has a cold boomerang called karma that flips back around and puts the perspective on him. The best you can do is fill the hole. Queen Afua, speak to it.
Well, in his world, he is going to say he did the best that he could, and that he shared with all his children. But in your world, you're seeing it totally different. So go from his world sometimes and then back into your world and say, well, my daddy has his shortcomings. All fathers will, all mothers will, and all daughters will have. So you have to move into a place of forgiveness and begin to receive people as you mature, receive people where they are and their capacity. His love capacity may not have been strong because he did not receive it. Check back at the grandparents. Check back where it started before them. And then you'll see, okay, in my family there's not a lot of nurturing going on, but then now it's your turn. What are you going to do to make
Queen,
that doesn't happen in your future, in your family?
So, Queen, let me ask you this, because you're saying something that's really, really heavy, and I want you to go deeper. Are you saying there are families out there that are devoid of the capacity to forgive?
Yes.
And
families...
What is the effect of parenting when you come from a family that is devoid of forgiveness?
Well, what comes out of that is the angry woman, is the hostile woman, is the aggressive woman, is the hurt woman, is the verbally abusive woman. She grows from a child. She hasn't been given the love, the nurturing, the time, the energy, the hugs, the care. Then she goes out there and she just is wild in pain and hurt. And so that's and we can't put a Band-Aid on it. So what do you do with that? You might be the seed out of that family that changes the whole tide of the family. I always say that there's always a healer in every family, the one who changes the direction of the family. I believe that you are that one being on this call. So you can make the shift, and then from your shift, it affects and impacts your entire family because they learn from you. Since your family's not able to do or your father's not able to see, then he may be blind right now. But if you, the daughter, being the next generation up, can now grow from that and say, never again. The buck stops here. Our family's going to start being loving because of me. I'm going to do that.
So let's do this. Let me thank Sonia for calling in. I appreciate you for that heat because it opened up a whole world of understanding that we needed to hear. We got to move quickly to Dollar Bill from Compton's in the house. Without a doubt. Speak to me, brother.
Hey, Brother Zoe, I appreciate you taking my call, and I spoke to you about a month ago on a different topic, and I want to say respect to Queen Afua.
Blessings to you, Dollar Bill.
Situation you're referring to right now is a situation I had. I was born and raised in Compton. My ex-wife is from Detroit. I have two daughters, and I have majority custody of my daughters, which is, wonderful.
Yes.
But the thing is I'm trying to break the anger and the bitchiness. I could tell you point blank, one time my daughter said she didn't want to go back to her mom's house because mommy's mean and this and this and this and this. And all the things you're describing is what my ex-wife dealt with. So I tried to institute group hugs, when her and her little sister were getting little disagreements. And her mom actually said, that group hug shit you're doing at your dad's house is bullshit. So on. So these things I'm trying to institute. Now, I knew how I grew up, but I recognize the anger. So I'm asking you from a step 1, not step 2, 3, 4, 5. I ain't trying to go there. How do you break that generation? Now, I understand where it came from because her mom my ex-wife's mom was really
So Darius, let's do this. Darius, let me do this. Dollar Bill, let me do this real quick.
Help me with that one.
Dollar Bill, let me do this real quick because we've got limited time. Let's focus in that question, and Queen, answer that question for us. Thank you for the call, Dollar Bill. Please deal with that question for us.
First of all, you have to just get the right perspective. I think you really know already. The mother is in starvation mode. She is starving. She never got it as a little girl. She didn't get the hug. She didn't get the talk to from the daddy. She didn't get the encouragement. She wasn't told she was beautiful. So she just grew up without all of that. So there's a starvation in her soul. But you have to keep doing what you're doing. If you don't keep doing what you're doing, the girls don't have a chance. The mother may grow out of that, and she may not grow out of that. See, I teach women how to actually, if you run, what you can do, run her a bath. Give her some sweet apple juice, pear juice that purifies the blood. The anger is in the blood. The blood needs to detoxify, and you can do it very lovingly by giving her baskets of fruits, and she'll start to detox, and her attitude will start to change. Run her a bath of wood. She may not even want anything like that, but she doesn't understand your kindness, but your daughters do. So give it to the daughters, and they will grow up and help mother to heal herself anyhow. You have to have strength right now to keep going without you becoming bitter and you becoming angry and you retaliating. Don't talk the mother down. The mother needs help and healing. And you have compassion. You have the compassion. That's come. You have the daughters.
Wow. That's good stuff.
You're going to pray for Mom.
Really quickly, John Price.
Yes, one thing that disturbs me is that no one ever said therapy or other reinforcements of support. That's important in the family dynamics, especially one of this, if possible.
Thanks, John, for stealing my thunder. I have it here, right here on my.
That woman is the devil, though.
Thanks for the final thought.
That woman he married, that woman sounds like the devil. He married the devil's daughter.
I was just the opening act. Now you can go.
Right. So look, we only have 3 minutes left in the show, and I just want to we have a few more minutes, but I want to devote a little time to the people that are on the show right now. Queen Afua, you were awesome. I really appreciate all of what you do, and I know my listeners have been going bonkers all week when they found out that you were going to be on the show. Really quickly, tell us where they can find you, how they can connect with you, the whole 9 yards.
Okay. Well, this is the moment of truth, I suppose, and I totally agree that therapy, and so I teach a training. It's a 12-week training for men, Man Heal Thyself, and I have 12 wonderful men who are co-teaching with me and beginning to have a man walk through his 12 states of being a man. He has to grow up and be a man and heal himself. And we also have a woman training, Woman Heal Thyself. Send your daughters. Our fathers go to the training, and it's a 12-week. I would say that you should dial in to make contact with this training, this holistic transformational training. You'll come in one way, angry, hurt, empty, mad, confused, diabetic, high blood pressure, fibroid tumors, prostate blockage, and you'll come out blossomed into your optimal self, The way to reach his teleconference is 805. I'll be on the call for next Thursday at 805-360-1000. The code is 822-507-POUND. I also have detox and rejuvenating formulas along with a pathway to move into a holistic lifestyle, to let go of the rage, to let go of the pain, to begin to heal yourself.
And really quickly, Queen, they could just get all of this information from your website, right?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
What is the website?
It's www.queenafua.com, and they can also call us here Monday through Friday, 718-221-4325.
She gave out the number, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you, Queen, for being on the show. We so appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful being with you. Wonderful gentleman.
And stay awake, because I'm going to call you after it's over. Now, on to my next guest, John. Where can they find you, brother?
Yes, I'm at www.rajwantis.me, which is R-A-J.
What language is that?
Say you said www.
Rajwantis.me. That is my website.
So that's Rajwan is R-A-G-W-A-N-T.
R-A-J-W-A-N-T.
Okay, I'm just trying to get it. Not like Raj from What's Happening. R-A-J-W-A-N-T is.me. You got to follow him there. And then, of course, the incomparable.
Oh, at Lou Dix. That's my Twitter. But you can hit me at www. I can't believe you came to www.
So listen, let me just do this right here. Again.
Thanks for having me, sir.
Anytime, Louis. Again, people don't understand how important it is to have professional help, a counselor, therapist, all of these kind of things. And we talked about a relationship. It's the daddy-daughter relationship, but relationships need tools. They need communication tools. They need listening tools. They need constructive tools to where the people can interact and understand each other. And empathy is a powerful tool, being able to see somebody else's perspective. Now, a counselor and therapy is important, but sometimes there are those cases where the therapist doesn't connect with the person, or the process actually worsens the situation. So in that case, you should look for another therapist. You should find another one, someone that fits your style better than the one that isn't working for you. Because sometimes it's just about somebody sitting there listening to you vent, you know, what's going on with you. And you need someone that's going to implement tools to make your relationship better. And a lot of people don't understand how important it is to continually work on oneself. You have to understand whatever experience you're experiencing is a reflection of what's inside of you that hasn't been resolved. And a lot of people are not accountable for that. A lot of people don't want to take responsibility that if you get in some terrible experiences, because that's the experience you need in order to transcend to the next level. I'm ZoWilliams Rising, the voice of reason. I'm here every Thursday. We do these kind of shows. It's cold-blooded comedy, depth, insight, the whole 9 yards. I'll talk to you later. See you next week. Peace.
All right.